Hi, how are you doing? My name's Joseph Abraham. I'm the main guy over here at Maui Game Studio. We put an update out pretty recently, so I'm just really hoping that you'll like it. But first, we're going to talk about it. Let's get to it. So the first major thing I did was the new evented UI. You just push escape here or X or whatever, and there's this menu, the party menu, and then the system menu. There's also a mastery menu here, and so for the mastery menu, you can go up to 1,000. You turn that down. You can go up to 1,000 here. So for health and mana, that means you can go up to 10,000 and 5,000 respectively, which is a ridiculous amount that you'll never need, but you know, then you can reset it here, and then you can go ahead and just put it all right back in. And I made it go super fast, pretty much as fast as your computer can handle it, so you don't have to sit at your computer all day and wait for the points to end if you want to refill it. And this UI, I went with a very simple one, eventually because this is going to be on mobile as well. This same layout this will be how the layout works, but it'll be touchscreen, right? So you just push the buttons with your finger. Pretty cool. I also reduced the mastery points you gain per level. So as you can see, I am a level 291, which would mean I have 290 mastery points because you get one for every level minus one. So 290 points for a 91 level mastery. This is an incredibly strong character. That'll take you at an immensely long amount of time to get to the point where you're like this in the game, but it's something to look forward to, and with the scaling system, you can pretty much play until you're 90 years old. So for the Game Plus in-game, I fixed tons of things in regards to stats. Stats, item names. There's a lot of stuff that had, you know, the wrong name, the wrong spelling for the descriptions especially. Conventions that I used to use, I no longer use, are now kind of all cleaned up. So hopefully if you see any spelling errors in the skills or the items, make sure to let me know. In addition to that, I refactored the leveling system, which will reduce lag, hopefully quite a bit on those higher levels. I also fixed a bug where this character was substantially improved. He used to show multiple versions. There used to be multiple versions of the Glen here, but I made it so that there's only one. Okay, let's talk about the Reach facility now. So one thing that a lot of people will notice is that when you come and talk to the Reach facility Electro-Wisps, Oxalis, and Scylla here, you will see that I cleaned up these menus and just made them a lot more robust. And in addition to that, I made it so that the UI is just a lot better. And another thing you'll notice is I no longer have allocation points here. It used to be where when you got your mastery points, as they're called now, previously allocation points, you would come here and this was the only place you could upgrade them, but now you can just upgrade them in the general menu, so there's no point in having them here anymore. It's looking really good. You can see again with the new UI, with the new button style, I really love the way it looks. I also added a additional secret spot for snakes. So in the game there's an achievement for killing snakes. You have to kill 50 snakes, and snakes are actually extremely rare in the land of Kalbi apparently. So I added a place in the Reach facility where you can fight exclusively snakes. So in this little part, if you ever find this area in your Reach runs, it's exclusively snakes, and each snake battle has 8 snakes. So you can fight 8 snakes, and if you look at the snakes, the ones in the back are Reach snakes, and then it's regular snakes in the front. So the snakes in the front, they're basically just a giveaway. They're really easy to kill, and the snakes in the back will level as you upgrade the Reach facility, but it's kind of a little secret Easter egg I added for those people who were frustrated with that particular achievement. I think it's fair. Even if you come here and grind for a bit, it'll still take you a while to achieve the snake kills, and also you'll have to go through the Reach several times before you can even find this specifically randomized zone. So I think it's a good trade-off, and I'm really satisfied with the way I decided to do it. So throughout the map, there was a lot of places in which characters were the wrong size. And that's a continuing thing because I do scale the walking sprites depending on which area you're in. So because of that, it brings in some challenges. But you know what? I think I got it everywhere. I'm sure someone will find a place where a certain sprite is small or a certain one is large. Just make sure to let me know, and it's pretty obvious when you see it. So yeah, just let me know and I'll make sure to go ahead and fix it. Another thing that I've recently noticed is that when you switch zones, if you look here, there's an autosave that occurs, right? You can see here on the left, that autosave that just happened. What I did with this recent save is I delayed the time of the autosave. And what that does is it gives you a little bit better of a smoother transition on maps. Some people were complaining, especially those with slower hard drives, that the game was lagging pretty hard in map transitions. And while this isn't like a perfect solution, it does reduce the slowdown on the map transitions quite a bit. So there was a bug in the Kalbi Refuge here where you actually couldn't save your game. So I actually was able to make it so that you can save your game in the Kalbi Refuge, which a lot of players will be happy about. I got some reports on the Steam community page that nobody could save their game here, and I was really surprised, and I actually didn't believe them, to be honest. So I went ahead and looked, and sure enough, they were right. For whatever reason, I disabled saves on this level. I'm not sure why that occurred. I can't think of a situation in which I would have ever turned off saves in the first place, which is why it was so unbelievable that it was a case, but it must have been an accident. Perhaps I intended to turn the saves on and I actually ended up turning them off. There was also an issue in the Kalbi village in the blacksmith/weapons shop. This blacksmith here was having an issue. He wasn't actually giving you the weapon if you brought all the materials for him. I don't understand how I did that, but I'm really sorry for anybody who gathered the materials and wasn't able to get their legendary dagger, but it works now. So hopefully, you'll forgive me and maybe go try again to get that dagger on a Game Plus or another new game or something, but again, really sorry about that. Okay, so in the Kalbi Summit fight, I actually made a few changes. One was if you hold shift here, like I'm actually holding shift, it doesn't continually keep cycling through the characters. It just will do one, and then if you just push it quickly, you can switch them all very quickly, like this. Additionally, I added more enemies to this area. Let's see if I can find them now. So there's a 1 in 4th chance that you'll encounter that specific enemy. A new enemy called the Blood Knight. He's definitely going to kill us, but we'll just keep fighting him so that you can see the next part. So now when you lose, you get these new cutscenes with image, and it shows a dialogue portrait saying you lost. I also made it so there's more stuff going on down here so that you can see your character on the screen. Another thing that was brought to my attention by Mark, who recently streamed the game on Twitch, was that he wanted to be able to choose whether or not to go forward at this point in the game. He felt like he wanted to have the choice to unequip some of his existing gear before moving forward. So I added that here. As you can see, would you like to return with the main story? And you said no. And if you come back in here and then you say yes, and then you can say no, and you can unequip whoever you want, right, and come back in, and then once you're ready, you can go ahead and say yes. Another thing I cleaned up was Shogun's fight with the dialogue here. It was a little bit iffy and the transitions were a little bit iffy. I might still make some additional adjustments in the future, but I'm fairly content with where we are now in this progression for this scene. There's also an achievement tied to this fight that now works properly. If you kill all of these pirates before the dialogue is done, then you'll get an additional Steam achievement. So Mother here, when you would select Mother in the UI, it would say Mother, and then for Mother's second form, it would say Mother 2 and Mother 3. Now it just says Mother. This fight previously showed like kind of a red tint, and the tint would be removed by certain battle effects, and I removed that effect. The removal would make it look something like it looks now, which is not what I wanted. Additionally, I added special battle transitions for the fight with Abraham and Maui. You can see it here. where previously it used a normal transition. In addition to this, I added a transition for the reach boss here. I also made it so that Minotaurs are weak against light damage. As you can see, that Minotaur just got evaporated. So that's going to be it for the patch notes / devlog. There's a lot more detail that I could have gone into, but if you want to check out exactly what I did to every little skill and map, you can go check the official Steam post. I would like to heartfully thank Laestril, who brought the refuge save issue to my attention, and Marcmagus, who streamed my game on Twitch. He brought a lot of other little issues and gave me some great suggestions that I could fix. And I'd also obviously like to thank the head tester, Familia's head test director, Euphoric Lemon, and I'd also like to thank Codemora, who is my JavaScript angel. If you guys want to get more involved with the project and talk about game dev through RPG Maker or otherwise, go ahead and make sure you follow me on Discord. I'll leave the link below. As always, if you really want to help me out, again, you can consider subscribing and liking this video. If you have any questions about anything I did, or you just want to talk about it or say hi, I always really appreciate those comments. We all know that they help with the almighty YouTube algorithm gods. So on that note, I'm going to leave you. I really appreciate you making it all the way to this video. This has been a long one, and I will talk to you later. Farewell and aloha. This is Maui Game Studio, Joseph Abraham. Until next time.